Guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I have a very exciting video, and I've been wanting to do this video for a long time and I finally got around to doing it. But it is the sponge battle between the SLMissGlam beauty sponge and the original beauty blender from Sephora. So I have fallen in love with the SLMissGlam sponge, but I also really love the Sephora sponge, and after I did this video I do still love both, but I have been reaching for this one recently because it just makes my foundation look flawless. And I used to think that the Sephora one made my foundation look flawless and my whole face makeup, but now that I've tried this one I'm just like, this is like a whole nother game changer. But if you guys want to see like the demo, my thoughts, the difference, then please keep watching. Okay, I know I look a little funny with this headband on, but I figured this was the easiest way to get all my hair out of my face so we can focus on the face and focus on the battle between the sponges. So first thing I'm going to do is obviously prime my face, because I would obviously never put on a foundation without priming my face, and the purpose of this is just to help with pores and all that kind of stuff. So this is the Maybelline Baby Skin primer, and I'm just going to go ahead and apply that to my face. I love this primer because it seriously smooths out your whole entire face, and I feel like with the Beauty Blender it makes it so much more better, and I just love the look that it gives. So I'm just applying this on the areas that I normally need help with pores, which is like around here and then on my forehead. But I mainly just like to focus it kind of like around here where my nose is. So this is what the sponges look like. So this is the Beauty Blender, and I'm pretty sure you guys have seen this. You can get this at Sephora or even online. I know there's dupes of it, but this is the original Beauty Blender from Sephora, and this is the newest one that I have. But as you guys can see, it's kind of like cut up, and I've had this one for about a year. I have like 6 Beauty Blenders, and the pink one is my favorite. I've had this one for a long time, but it's the newest one out of my collection that I have. So I wanted to go ahead and use it today, and this one is already wet, by the way. And then this is what the SLMissGlam sponge looks like. This is in her packaging, which is absolutely adorable. It just says sparkle every day, and I just love the way it looks. And then this is a sponge inside of it. As you guys can see, the sponge is seriously so pink. Like, it's way more pink than the actual Beauty Blender. The Beauty Blender is kind of like a darker pink, I would say, and the SLMiss sponge is like a bright neon pink, like kind of like a baby pink, almost like a, I would say like a pastel pink, and then this is like a fuchsia pink. And as you guys can see, it's a lot more smaller. The reason why it's so small compared to the Beauty Blender is because it's dry right now, but once I wet it, you guys will see it just basically looks exactly like the Beauty Blender, but it has a lot more edges. This is how it looks dirty. This is one of her sponges, and I've been using this every single day because I seriously love it. And this is how it looks dirty, and I use it for my concealer, my foundation, powder, everything. So like I said, this is how it looks dirty. This is how it looks clean. How they look completely wet, and as you guys can see, it's now a little bit bigger than the actual Beauty Blender, and it's so squishy, you guys. Like, I can't even tell you the difference of squishiness between the Beauty Blender. The Beauty Blender I feel like is a little bit more denser, and the SLMissGlam sponge is like so bouncy, which is why I feel like it makes the application so much more like amazing. Yeah, it's just like dramatically squishy. Like, I wish you guys can feel it through the camera and see how squishy it is, because it's really squishy. The foundation I'm going to be using today is my Maybelline Matte and Poreless Foundation. This is one of my favorite drugstore foundations, and I love it for my oily skin. So I'm going to go ahead and use this today with the 2 Beauty Blenders. And by the way, I'm going to show you half of my side with the SLMissGlam sponge, and then half of the other side with the original Beauty Blender. I'm going to start off first with the SLMissGlam sponge, and I'm going to apply this side of my face, I guess. And then the other side I will apply it with the regular original Beauty Blender. What I really love about the sponge is, like I already mentioned, it's like super bouncy. So I feel like it's not like as harsh on the face as the Beauty Blender. Not that the Beauty Blender is like harsh or anything, but this makes it like so squishy and soft and gentle. Which I feel like is amazing for a sponge, because some sponges they tend to like soak up all your foundation and then be really hard, or even if it's dry it's really hard. But once you wet this, it gets like so squishy, and it's really gentle, and that's what I love about it. So I'm just applying this, like I said, on one side of my face. The SLMissGlam sponge, since the bottom of it is so big, it takes less time to put my foundation on than the regular original Beautyblender, which sounds weird because they're almost the same, I guess, but not really. By the way, mine is like has a hole in it because it accidentally ripped. But yeah, I feel like it's a little bit bigger, but for some reason, like I guess because it picks up so much foundation, that it takes less time. But meaning that it takes up more foundation doesn't mean that it makes it to where your face is like cakey or anything. Still kind of like shears out your foundation a little bit, but not as much as the regular Beautyblender. The Beautyblender I feel like holds like so much water in it, and this one doesn't, but at the same time, with the foundation, it just like mixes together and makes it better. I'm gonna finish this off, and then I'm gonna zoom really close up, and you guys tell me which side looks better. Okay, so I zoomed in as close as possible, so you guys are probably like freaking out because you've never seen me this close before. But this side is the SLMissGlam beauty sponge, and then this side is the regular original Beautyblender from Sephora. So I hope you guys can tell the difference between how it looks and the finish of it and everything like that. That being said, as you guys can tell, right side of my face, which is your left side, you can tell that my pore area looks flawless. This side, you can still kind of see my pores, which is kind of weird to me because I did use a pore minimizing primer underneath, which is supposed to help with the pores, but I just feel like with this sponge, for some reason, it just like completely cancels out my pores, which is crazy to me, and it's the main reason why I have fallen in love with this sponge. And like I said, this side, you can still really see my pores, which is like crazy to me. So far I've been picking the SLMissGlam beauty sponge because of that reason, to do my foundation every single day. But I'm gonna go ahead and continue on with my face makeup. I'm gonna do my concealer, and I'm gonna show you guys a comparison of how the sponges work with the concealer, and then I'm gonna go ahead and show you with the powder. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and use my LA Girl concealer. This is the concealer I've been loving recently, and I'm gonna go ahead and apply that underneath my eye area. And then I'm also going to apply some on my lid just to prime my eyes for eyeshadow. And I'm also going to use this for highlighting purposes. And then again, with the SLMissGlam beauty sponge, I'm going to be doing my right side of my face. And then the other sponge I'm going to be doing with my left side. Go ahead and blend that concealer out. And another thing I forgot to mention is that the original Beautyblender, some of them are different than the others. Like I feel like the black Beautyblender has bigger pores and the pink one doesn't, which if you guys are getting confused, the actual sponge inside, like if you guys can look really close, you can see like little tiny like pores of it, like not pores but holes. And I feel like sometimes, it depends on the foundation, it leaves marks on my face, which sounds really strange, but it kind of leaves like those little prints on my face. Like it doesn't come out like flawless. Like sometimes it will and sometimes it won't. It just really depends on the concealer that I use. But that's how it looks with the original Beautyblender, and I'm going to go ahead and blend this side out. And by the way, the tip is completely different from the original. So as you guys can see, it has like this flat side and then it has this side. And I love using this to set my concealer, but I like using this kind of round part to go ahead and blend it out. So I'm going to show you guys right now, and I feel like you see how fast it blended out versus the original Beautyblender. Okay, I don't know if you guys can see that, the difference. Let me zoom you in a little bit more. Okay, I zoomed you guys in as close as possible, but as you guys can tell, this side of my face, my concealer, I do have like little hydration bumps, and I do apply eye cream with that, and I did apply that before I went ahead and did the concealer, obviously. But as you guys can tell, this side of my face, my concealer looks flawless, and this side is showing like dramatic hydration bumps. and it's weird because the SLMissGlam sponge completely blends that out. It makes it like so flawless and you can't see it. It's like seriously invisible. I just like to go back and forth with both of the sponges the exact same way, and it always comes out better with the SLMissGlam sponge. So now the final thing I'm going to do is set my concealer, and I'm going to be using my Airspun powder, and I've been using this for years and I love it. So I'm going to take some powder on the SLMissGlam sponge just like this, and I'm going to like pat it underneath the eye. And I also like to bring it down here where my pores are, because it makes my pores look so much more better with the sponge and the powder and the primer and everything. It just looks flawless. And then I'm going to take my original Beautyblender and apply that. And I'm also going to put it on my eyelid. You can see that, but it also gives a lot more coverage with the SLMissGlam sponge versus the original Beautyblender. You guys can see that you can still see my freckles, and you can kind of see some redness over here and a little bit more down here. Like I said, my pores are like smiling at you guys right now. Right here, my pores are like flawless. You can't see nothing. Okay, so now I'm gonna finish the rest of my face, and I'll be back to tell you guys my final thoughts, my final opinions, and which sponge that I would recommend more for you. Okay, so I went ahead and finished off with my makeup, and me personally, I love the SLMissGlam beauty sponge better than the Sephora one. Like I said, the reasons is because it just completely minimizes my pores, makes them invisible. And this one right here is just bugging me because I can see with the Sephora sponge, the Beautyblender, I can still see my pores. And I used to love the Sephora sponge. Like, I would use it every day. I would recommend it to everybody. But now that I've tried the SLMissGlam sponge, I feel like the Beautyblender just stepped up its game with the SLMissGlam sponge. With the SLMissGlam sponge, it's like a million times better. You guys probably can't see like on camera, but if you were to see me in person or through a picture, you would be able to see that my pores and my face on this side looks so much more better. I mean, it's not like a dramatic change, but it's something that I can personally notice. And it's crazy because when I first tried this sponge, I was like, oh, it's gonna be like, you know, like the Beautyblender, but it's like so good. Like I can't even stress to you guys how good it is and how I've been loving it. I actually went to Dallas recently, and I was doing my makeup, and my sister was like, hey, can I use that sponge because I forgot mine? And I was just like, yeah. So I went to go wash it for her, and I let her use it, and she was just like, oh my god, my foundation looks flawless. I'm going to buy so much more of these because I'm going to be using them in my freelancing and for my clients, because it's just seriously amazing. Like, I love this sponge so much, and I think everybody needs to go and try it. And if I'm not mistaken, I think that this is actually cheaper than the original Beautyblender, but I will link all the information to her shop for the sponge. By the way, she also has brushes, which some of the brushes I always use, which are amazing as well. So you guys have to go and try out this sponge. Like I said, I'll link it down in the description bar for you guys if you guys are interested. But yeah, that's gonna conclude my final thoughts and this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. So if you guys want to be like notified when I upload Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, so you guys can automatically get a notification when you subscribe to my channel. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.